AfterBuzzers and Oncers, welcome back to episode 14, The Girl in the Tower. We've got Operation Hyacinth in effect, Alice and Robin, the dynamic duo, and we've got a very special guest in the studio, Emma Booth, aka Mother Gothel, and we cannot wait to talk to her, so don't click that mouse.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome back, everybody. This music makes us happy every Monday, and we are so excited to be here, especially because we have the amazing Emma Booth in the house.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Such a treat.
It's Mother
here.
Gothel in the house, but guys, I've got to tell you, she is not anything like Mother Gothel, okay? Emma Booth is the nicest person I've ever met in my entire life, so you have to know that.
Like, scarily
I feel
perfect.
the same. Oh my god.
You literally sparkle like a princess.
She really does.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Don't make me cry. My husband might not agree with you, but no, he does.
We always normally talk about Ally and her sprinkle, but I don't know. You probably might have her beat.
I'm trying really hard.
Well, guys, before we get into it, let's just introduce our lovely panel. We've got Steph Sabraw.
What's up, everyone? I'm Steph Sabraw. I'm so excited to talk about this episode.
Lanisha, how's it going?
That's going great. I got Emma Booth in the house.
Carolina Bonetti, what's happening?
Hey guys, I'm so excited to bring this week's character corner to you.
Yes, it's gonna be great and all the juicy details of on set. We can't wait to get into it. I'm Ally Nasta. How is everybody doing on this fine Monday? You know, I've been waiting to talk about this all weekend.
Yes.
Because I don't know if you know this, but last week we chatted about how we wanted to see how Robin and Alice met. And we got that this episode, which was really exciting to all of us. Because they're a dynamic duo that is undeniable. They're amazing together.
I was thrilled that we finally got to see that duo more than the little 30-second clip that we've had in the past. We finally had an episode about them.
I feel like this episode more than the past few brought a lot of the classical storybook elements into it, where they both were carrying the classic Alice in Wonderland, Robin Hood book. So I really like that, and I loved what they did with Alice's magic.
Yes, that's what I was excited about, because we got to finally, because we were all talking about it last week, could she be the savior? Could she be, what's going on with her? And finally we got answers. Oh, I already know you, Carolina. There's no changing her mind.
Yeah, Carolina's got her decisions made, and there's nothing that's going to change that. But Emma, you mentioned this was one of your favorite dynamic duos to happen, right?
Yeah, they're just gorgeous. They're my favorite, hands down.
Yes.
Hands down. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so in love with both of them. I'm in love with them anyway in real life. Two of the most divine people. So it's been, just gorgeous. Rose is like this shiny, magical creature. They all are. They all are, though.
Yeah, and you were mentioning that it's very much a sisterhood in the show.
Absolutely. I've never worked with so many women so closely that are all absolutely divine. Completely different. All of us are so different, but we all get along, and there was never any cattiness or bitchiness or none of that. You just love.
Good.
I love
and
that.
the love to make the most incredible show for the fans that we could, and just really get in there and give it everything we had, and there was so much support, so much laughing.
That makes it so much more fun as an audience to know that it makes it more fun for you guys on set, and it's everybody's friends, because as an audience you can kind of see that come off on screen, which is amazing.
Yeah,
They had to say cut a lot with your laughing.
Huh? Oh, look, there was problems with the laughing. The biggest problems were Colin, me, and Bobby in a room together was hideous. They're like, time is money, guys. And we're like... That interrogation scene was almost nearly impossible to get through. We just couldn't stop. And then we had to be so intense, and it was like, I'm losing it. And it's so hard. And then, of course, once you get the giggles... You give everyone else the giggles. So the crew's got the giggles, and it's so difficult. And Bex, oh my god.
Who's the biggest giggle starter? Who's the ringleader to start it?
Me. Okay, me. No, Colin. Okay, I'm the one that starts laughing, but he's the one, of course, that actually starts me laughing and then everyone else laughing. He does his hook dance. While,
we'll get into that. I have questions about that. But that's funny that you say that. That interrogation scene, you were a cold stone witch.
Yeah.
If I may say so myself. You guys know I love witches, and Mother Gothel is head witch.
Yes.
She is. Speaking of head witches, which was kind of crazy in this episode, is somehow Mother Gothel is manipulating the situation for Alice, and we don't know if maybe she's involved or there's another extra person making Alice do all these things. But we find out that she wasn't the one to kill it. She actually has an alibi because they brought in the troll. And we've been wondering about what this troll meant the whole time, because she obviously goes and talks to it, and we were kind of wondering if she has this kind of psychotic,
breakdown. Why is it there?
The troll story made me sad.
Yeah. Well, isn't that kind of like a tribute to, what is it? The yes, the big friendly giant. So I thought that was really interesting that they were able to intertwine that into this episode as well.
It did make me sad, though, that after all this, so she created it by her desperate need to get out of this tower, and he gets her out of there, and then he rampages the countryside. He spends his life running away from people attacking him, and then he turns into, stone.
Yeah, that's.
I was hoping dude would go to the land of happy giants or something.
It's like that one movie about emotion.
Moana.
No, about the girl who has an imagination land and that really cute pink fluffy character that gets killed at the end, and you're like,
no!
See,
the
hers
one with
was more
Mindy
terror.
Kaling.
I was thinking of the nice one.
Movie? It's a Pixar one. Help me in the chat, you guys. That movie about the emotions with Mindy Kaling.
It's a very popular movie.
Inside Out.
Yes,
Inside Out. Yes.
That's exactly it. Amazing. Yeah, it was really kind of sad that kind of happened. But at the end of the day, we did have a lot of people come together, and that's kind of how Robin and Tilly's relationship. I never know if it's Tilly, I always mix them all together. But it was fun to see them kind of come together and see how Rogers is kind of intertwining to the story, and he's not believing anything, but he knows there's a reason he needs to help Tilly out, which is really fun to see because we've all been dying for Hook to wake up. We're like, wake up already.
I love that she's gonna live with him now. I feel like we've been waiting for. He needed to be slapped in the face, basically saying, "I'm your daughter." House me, so I'm glad it's happening.
Right, and it's terrible.
Except he still doesn't know it's his daughter, but I mean, some progress.
Yeah.
But what's also terrible is the fact that they can't be together in the wish realm, and then they can't be together in the real world because they don't know that they're family. And it's like, are they ever gonna get to be together as a family?
And Mother Gothel is her mom, so I don't know when she's gonna find that out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well,
how much are you gonna pay me? I'll tell you everything.
Time is money.
Really quick, a thing about Tilly that was interesting to see Alice with the weird kind of skitsy thing she does with not knowing what's going on and kind of the way she talks, and it's very eccentric, is how we found her obviously talking to stuffed animals, which kind of makes sense because she was trapped in this tower for years. So obviously that's probably why she's a little crazy, and that's kind of what comes off in her character, which is really fun to watch because you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Obviously, she's been living by herself for so many years now. So
but I wonder how. See, that kind of gave me a little bit more questions because of Wonderland. And did she make up Wonderland? Did she create it because of the Mad Hatter? She was already naming him.
That can
You're
make
stressing me out.
It's possible she could have been there. I mean, this is a show about magic. There's no way to say that there wasn't some kind of window that she saw.
She definitely was, because in the beginning of the season, there is a scene where she's coming out of Wonderland. Right. If you guys remember that. So I don't think I hope that it's going to be a part of the plotline. If it's not, I'm still going to think that it happened.
It should be.
Well, she goes there because of everything that she goes looking for in Wonderland, and then she brings it up too, the Bandersnatch, how she outran it when she was running with Robin.
Oh, yeah.
And Robin's like, I ran track. And she's like, girl, I outran a mythical creature. Shut up. So it's definitely happened, but they're just as crazy as Wonderland. You might as well be trapped in a tower by yourself. So that wouldn't change her speech patterns. Yeah. It would exacerbate them.
I guess that could be true. Man, let's jump in because I really want to get to some Emma questions because we're so excited to have Mother Gothel in the studio. So let's really quickly just talk about Kelly, Lucy, and Regina and how they were working together this episode, and Kelly totally threw Lucy and Regina's plan under the bus.
Well, if Regina would have opened her mouth.
I just wish she would have told Kelly. Exactly. Why did she need to keep it secret?
Yeah, but why was Zelina acting like she had single white female syndrome?
I don't know.
Because she does have single white female syndrome.
Yeah.
And she's had the single white female syndrome since the beginning.
This is true. This is very true.
But I feel like this is relatable. All women who know that they're not dating someone that they shouldn't be dating hide it from their friends and loved ones. So it's pretty classic. But it really put Lucy in the worst. I would never want to be in Dr. Facilier's house alone.
No.
Yeah.
Not even as an adult, let alone as a little kid.
Yeah, that would be. I was terrified watching. She's sitting there just like looking at all of these things, and then her phone's getting blown up, and she's just sitting there continuing to take pictures. I'm like, oh my god!
I was screaming, why didn't you take the walkie-talkie?
Well, I love that Zelina brought that up too. She's like, you don't have walkie-talkies; they squawk.
Oh my gosh!
They have the.
Yeah,
it was a good throwback.
That was a good throwback. I mean, I feel like. Let's all bring back the walkie-talkies. That's way more fun to kind of go about things.
We could do the show now with walkie-talkies.
Yeah, we'll have Mother Gothel like on the walkie-talkie. No, she can just like play with people's minds and stuff.
She would.
She would be able to like put like the message. You know how when you used to have walkie-talkies and you could listen to different channels? Did you guys ever?
Yes, always.
Yeah.
Mother Gothel would like put that in there.
Yeah,
That was our witch
old
training.
School, right?
Yes.
Oh my god, I so miss the old days.
You
Life
would
was so
walkie-talkie?
complicated. I want a walkie-talkie. That's all I just. I want to be able to. Yeah.
This is kind of like one. We were talking about how it's got the pop mic, so it's
It
kind
does.
of.
I'm still freaking out that I'm wearing one of these.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. Yeah. Brittany.
It's Emma.
We also got the yellow bug back.
Yes, we did
That
get
was
the bug.
cool.
Which that was an ode to Harry Potter right there. If I ever saw one coming crashing out of the woods, I was like,
that's
okay,
so true.
Totally. I was waiting
escaping
for
the
the Whomping
spiders.
Willow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a really great point. I didn't even think about that.
I was actually waiting for the giant spiders like Aragog just to show up and be like, well, we just crossed another land of fairy tales.
Oh my gosh. Harry Potter's still one of my all-time favorites.
Of course.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Wait, what house are you?
Gryffindor.
Yeah.
God, come on, guys.
Did the Sorting Hat pick that, or is it like you want to be Gryffindor?
No, I do.
Did you do the Pottermore test?
No.
You have to.
Oh, you have to. And then
I've
you have to
taken it,
post
like,
your
10
results.
times.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to look into this.
There's like a legit test that tells you what you are.
Really?
And J.K. Rowling made it up
Okay, maybe
herself.
I'm Slytherin. I'll probably end up. Oh,
Me
God,
too.
it's going to come
That's
out.
what
Come
happened.
out.
I knew we had stuff in
Yeah.
common. We're
Yeah.
both part Gryffindor,
Yeah.
but we'll end up in Slytherin.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's, yeah, that's true. It's true. I feel like I'm a healthy mix of both. Like,
Yes.
I feel like everybody is, because everybody's got the little good and the bad in them.
See, I was the opposite. I thought for sure when I took the test I was going to get Slytherin. I was like, I am so Slytherin. I took it.
Ravenclaw. 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm so curious. I'm going to do
smelled
it when I
the
get
super
home.
nerd.
Wow.
That test can it tells. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was literally like, okay.
Okay,
I'll play with my books.
done. That's it.
I did like the.
I'm going home to do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
do it.
actual.
I'll let you know if I Instagram.
Post it, please. Post it on
please.
Instagram.
I'll post it on Instagram.
That would be so good. It's one of
I'm
those
scared. Why is my heart beating now? I'm like, what am I going to be?
Wait till you do your Patronus test. We won't get into
Oh wow. Oh, all right. Now I'm really
It's
freaking.
intense. I'm sweating thinking about it.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? Let's just dive right in. Emma, we are so thankful for you to be here, honestly. It's
I'm so happy to be here.
such a pleasure to have you, and we're obviously all huge fans of Once Upon a Time and everything. So let's just start from the beginning. You know, how did this part in becoming Mother Gothel happen? What was the audition process? How'd you find out?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just come back from Serbia. I was shooting a huge kind of action film over there and kind of got back and the sci-fi kind of action film and got back and it's really interesting because I just finished telling my manager, I'm like, look, I'm not going in for any more auditions that you hand me the night before. I said, it's pointless. I'm over it. It's not fair. I need time to work on stuff. So I get a phone call half an hour later. Look, I know, you just said that. I know. But Once Upon a Time, I was like, oh my God, can I have another day? They were like, they have been looking for Mother Gothel for months and months and months around the world, and they just can't find her.
Wow.
Apparently they were looking in their 20s a girl in her 20s initially, like 10 years younger, and then they've gone, let's look older. I'm glad they did. But anyway, I went in there, did a bit of a shaky audition, and I was like, whoa. I know I've got witch in me though. I was like, this is my role. This is my role. You know, I always play crazy characters. I truly, truly do. And so I was like, I'd love to play her, even though I didn't really know what she was doing. In fact, I had no idea what she was doing in the show. Anyway, I was on a plane 2 days later. They called me that night, like, boom, you've got the job. You need to go to Vancouver immediately.
Wow.
I had 4 hours sleep. On my first day, 4 hours sleep. I had 40 questions written down. I rocked up on set. I was nervous. I was like all the things that you just don't want to be on your first day. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? And I said, can you answer these questions? And they were like, yeah, no. I was like, why? I need to know everything. I'm a film actor. We know everything, every single, and they were like, look, not on this. We really kind of write as we go. We have a vague idea, but they wouldn't even give me that much. So I was literally getting material just before I was shooting stuff, and it was kind of crazy. It was a lot of like deep breathing on my own in the corner. Don't have a panic attack. And then Mother Gothel came out. I was only actually meant to do a few episodes. Initially, that's what I was booked for. They were like, I think it's kind of like a trial period. Even if you come in briefly, are they curious about you? Do they warm to you? And then they start, if you inspire them and the writers, then they start developing this story about you, which is what happened with Gothel. So I didn't even know what was going to happen with her. But I'm so thankful for being able to play her, and such a clearly tortured woman. But I learnt so much working on that set. So much. I'm so grateful for the experience.
That's so cool that you were saying. And you said that you usually play, like, is this the role you usually kind of play, like a tortured type of...
No, look, I played a serial killer in my last film, Hounds of Love, quite seriously, and I'm very physically transformed in that you wouldn't actually know it's me.
I love that.
Yeah, the film's definitely not for people under 47. No, do not watch it if you're young, and ask your parents. It's not for people, I would say, 18 to... I know the younger people have watched it, but just ask your parents, guys. If you are, absolutely ask your parents. It's full on. And so I've really played a lot of challenging roles, things that have tested me, but I'm not interested to play characters that don't scare me. And don't challenge me, and don't make me find out more about myself as I'm delving into their life. And so Mother Gothel, it was just like a dream. I mean, the hours were not a dream, let me tell you. They were not a dream. But
that is so interesting. And you play all these really complex characters, and obviously Mother Gothel is one of those characters that we've seen. You know, we're 14 episodes into this 7th season, and we still need to know more about her. Yes. And so what do you do to kind of prep for a character that comes across on screen so complex
and so mysterious? Just act all mysterious and stuff. No, seriously, because again, even if they have the storylines written ahead, we don't get them at all. So as I'm prepping, sometimes I'm like, guys, where is the episode? Where is the episode? We start shooting in a day or 2 days, and I'm like freaking out. And then I get the episode, and it's like, you know, reading, and it's like, oh, okay, and it's fast. I have to think on my feet, and then I'm in there, and the only thing I can do, because often more questions come up as we're shooting, it's kind of like all I can do is be completely present in the very moment, and I have to think of what the objective, what does she want in that scene? That's it. I go in with one thing. What is she trying to do? That is it, and just keep it very still. I really came to this, I came to the conclusion that it's so much more powerful watching someone who's quite still and evil, as opposed to like, I'm evil. Look how evil I am. It might work for some characters, not for her. I was like, I'm going to keep her. And apparently she's scary.
Well,
I don't know. I play
speaking
her,
of-
but I don't know.
I was going to say, speaking of challenges, can you tell us about your wig? Because I am obsessed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
wig.
amazing.
Yeah. I mean, the girls were. I rocked up on my first day on my 4 hours sleep, just freaking out day, like, and they were like, "Here's your wig." I was like, "Whoa, that's big. It's like a small child."
Have you named it?
I'm like, no, I haven't.
Name it now. What
Oh my
you
God!
know?
Quick, no, you know what? Get the onces. Come on, chuck us some names.
Yeah.
Who wants to
Yeah,
name
that's
it?
a good
Who wants
idea.
to name it?
Emma's wig.
How
wants
long
to
did
know?
it take to put on? Like, what was your
Well,
costume?
it was fun. They just braided my hair and then pinned it and then stuck the wig straight on. But the wig initially was so heavy that in scenes, I was like, my head was falling back, and about 3 days into shooting, I literally almost fainted when I was locked in the tower because it was so hot and I was all chained up. And I was like, guys, I can't breathe. And I'm sweating and I'm like trying to stand up. I couldn't keep my head up. And they were like, maybe we need to take some braids out. I was like, that would be awesome. Thank
That
you.
wig got some power.
It was like wearing a small child on my head, and it was itchy and it was so hot. I was like, how long am I going to be wearing this creature?
Great.
It was like having another creature on my head. But
That's
eventually they
amazing.
just took out more and more plaits, and it still looked it actually ended up looking more awesome when it was zhuzhed. Had a bit of zhuzhing done to it.
A nice
And,
zhuzh.
zhuzh, and it was way lighter and totally makes the character completely.
Right.
It's like I had to have that wig.
Mm-hmm.
If I look at it, I'm like, not like a nice blow dry. So I have a love-hate relationship with the wig.
Well, what about the robe that you wear? The Mother Gothel robe.
Yeah, there's a couple of kind of robes. Look, that's heavy. That's super heavy. All of it's heavy. None of it's fun to wear. Let me just put that out there. You corseted, you've got corsets underneath the robe and whatnot, and half the time I'm like, can you just make it looser? No one can see under it, and then it's like my boobs are falling in the middle of, so I'm like, it's like, and plaits are in perfect place. You've got to count how many are forward, how many are back. It's quite a process when when you look at the look of Mother Gothel and how we get there. It just looks all so easy on screen. You're like, you guys have no idea the amount of times we're like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in gardens, like for rows and soaking wet because it's raining, and it's like, I can't feel my face. They're like, action be great. You're like, screw you. You wear wet clothes. Get your.
Right.
Oh, am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah,
No.
wait.
You're fine.
Your
good.
Mother Gothel. The
Okay.
rules don't.
Sorry. My husband's like, don't swear. I was like, I'm Australian. This is going to be very difficult. Okay, I'll try my best.
Amazing. Wait, and so how long does it take you when you go in to get hair and makeup and everything done? What's the usual time it takes to get Mother Gothelified?
Oh, only about 45 minutes.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, maybe sometimes not even that. It's it's Eloise Gardiner that takes the time. So, well, I guess some people look at them like the same kind of person, but it's like, how it's like full of just plaits. They get my hair and they kind of crimp it, then they put in extra long crimpy bits, then they stick in the plaits. So that's a process.
It's not just the wig going on.
No. Okay, so so I've got the wig, the big giant gothely wig, and then you've got just the plait, the Eloise look. You've got the the two looks going on. So that takes more time, and that's often I'll be walking around set and I'll be like, oh my God, and I've just find plaits everywhere. I'm like, that's so gross. I've learnt one thing: never go in with clean hair because they all just slip out. All the weird things that people don't think about when you're getting your costume done. But the makeup was very simple. It wasn't too complex with her, and I think it works well. I was thinking
Totally.
great dark smoky eyes season, or they were like, nah, let's keep it really kind of clean. And I think it works.
It totally
Definitely
does.
did.
And it really does transform you, because I think I remember the first time I looked up Emma Booth as the actress compared to Mother Gothel. I didn't, like, it took me a while to kind of see the resemblance for a little bit. I don't know if anybody else felt that way too.
You have this weird, extraordinary face where you're the most evil witch, basically, but there's moments I look at you in the show, I'm like, why does she look so beautiful? Like, I just don't understand.
Oh my god.
Steph, that's because you want to be her.
I know. I really love witches, but you really intrigued me about how great the offset chemistry was and how it was almost hard to get scenes done because you guys were laughing so much. Can you please explain for us the hook dance, and if you can demonstrate a little bit, that would be really appreciated.
Okay, so I'll be in the middle of a really intense monologue, a really like full-on evil moment of just like, and then there'll just be this hook appear from behind, like, you know, certain walls, or he'll just be there serious, and then just his hook comes out. I'm like, oh my god, I hate you. The camera's not. It's so bad, and I can't keep a straight face through it. He knows what he's doing. You ask anyone that works with him, they're like, Colin. And the hook dance. That, or it's just like you just look at each other, all of us, and we just start laughing. That's the other worst thing, when you're like really, really serious. Like I had, oh my god, I had some date. The one with Bobby and you know, Eloise and Hook in the interrogation room was the worst, hands down. I've never had giggles like that. And I was like, I was actually getting very scared. I was like, I can't actually stop this, and I'm going to actually have the producers come down and tell me off. And then the more you think that, the more you can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
And it was awful.
That's
We all had to, it was just us three together. It was like,
wow.
Nah.
You would have
So
never
that's
known.
I'm thinking that's probably the last time the writers are allowed to put the three of you in the same
Pretty
room.
much.
Probably.
Yeah. I know, right? That's so funny. They're like, don't do it. We lost too much money. Time is money. No.
They get the script now. The three of you are on it, and they're like, "Let's."
I know.
out.
Yeah.
That scene was so good, though. It's crazy hearing that from the background because you were so diabolical and focused. So I can't even imagine you laughing during that scene.
Yeah, I saw a couple of moments in my eyes where I was like, clearly they just have to like snip, edit. You're like, what can we take from each one and just like mold it together? But I was like, oh, I can see in my eyes. I'm like,
Yes.
I'm gonna go back and watch it now and be like,
yeah, let's see
laughing.
if you can pick up on it. Oh my god, I'm like laugh crying now. Oh, just the memory. Anyway, we had a lot of fun on set. A lot of fun, you know. In saying that, but one of my big episodes that hasn't aired yet, which is Goethals Backstory.
Can't wait.
It's pretty amazing. It was one of the most intense 10 days of my life. I've had a lot of intense stuff, but it was emotional. There wasn't much laughing going on. Really happy. I actually rang up Adam and Eddie, and I was like, thank you so much for letting me tell her backstory like this, because it's something I really try to teach a lot, is kindness. And how we treat others leaves a lasting effect. It just does. And, you know, when I'm really kind of, you know, I'm no perfect person. I've been whatever in my life. Like, and no one's perfect, but it's like we can always try to strive to get better and treat people kindly and treat them well. So I was like, when I got to tell this story, I really felt like I got to back up who I am as a person. So I rang them and thanked them, and I was just so happy. I think it will be loved. It was amazing shooting it, and it was so, it's pretty great. I can't wait for you guys to see that.
I definitely think that the fans are looking forward to that, because I feel like we want that in all of our characters, and each villain that we have seen, we've always had like a reason to why they are the way they are. So
you'll
your
find,
character definitely needs justice.
You're gonna, you're really gonna find out why she is like she is.
Yes.
Don't you worry about that.
Well, that is so exciting because you're one of the characters where we've been asking for questions because we just want to know, because there has to be a reason why she is so diabolical and maniacal and so creepy and scary and all that.
I know, she's just so evil, isn't she? I mean, like, you're so smart, but just so evil. But there's a heart in there. There's a heart in there. So it's deep in there, but there's a heart in her. But it's like, well, it's a whole lot of evil. Even I read scripts sometimes. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, dude, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I'm just an actor. I'm just an actress. I know.
No, Emma, you yourself are incredibly kind.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm pretty nice.
Well, you are, and you told us there's a couple of things that you do on social media to kind of share the love. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I guess. Yeah, look, I've just become an ambassador for Bullies Keep Out as well, and I think it's really not about condemning people and going, you're wrong. It's like, we've all at some stage in our life not been cool. I've certainly said things in my life and gone, sure, that I probably shouldn't have said that. Do you know what I mean? So it's not about that. It's just about understanding no one's perfect and striving to be a little bit better. And it's like, I know when I'm like, I get so angry, so walk away, punch the pillow, and it's like, and just, I have a big heart. I try to be as kind as I can. Yeah. Wherever, I don't care who the person is. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what you're, if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. And it's like, be kind. Yeah. It affects people. And it affects you. Guess what? That comes straight back on you. People don't understand. It's like, if you're going to be that way, think of life as like a mirror. Mm-hmm. That is just going to mirror straight back on you. And you kind of like, for your own life and well-being as well, just be kind and be honest. And so, I try to share that, It took me a lot of years of having a pretty crazy life to get this wise, let me tell you,
This
wise. Let me tell you, this wisdom came from somewhere. No.
Well, we love that. And we love you. And we're so thankful to have you here. We are running out of time, but I just got to ask you one question before we get into what you're working on now. What does Emma Booth like to do for fun outside of the Once world? What do you like to do?
Camping is my favorite, hands down my favorite things to do in the world. Anytime I get off, we pack the car, literally pack it full of camping supplies, and we just go road tripping. We've done all over California.
Yeah, what's your favorite? So many good ones here.
Gosh, funnily enough, these redwood trees are about 15 hours away, and they're some of the tallest trees in the world. That I don't know exactly.
The sequoias.
It is the sequoia.
Yeah, it's in Northern California.
There's a few of them, but I'm trying to think of the exact ones that we. But anyway, that's my favourite sacred place to go. But Yosemite, we've been loads. Big Sur. We went and camped at Mount Shasta, and that was, obviously at the bottom of, not at the top of Mount Shasta. That would be super cold, let me just say. But we travel, we go wherever we can, and that's why, nature for me is just, nothing makes me happier than lighting a fire. I'm obsessed with fires. I'm a fire sign. I love lighting a fire. I've kind of done my party years in my 20s, like, woo, and I'm like, I just have no joy in that. Yeah. I'm old. I'm getting old. I'm not really getting old, but I'm in my, it's actually really nice to be in my 30s and to go, great, I had a lot of fun doing that, but it's so nice just to not, to kind of be out of that and just go, my life is exploring nature and hanging out with my husband. I paint, I do a lot of stuff. I love watching movies, clearly, hopefully have a baby sometime in the future. Not tomorrow, just that. Yeah, but, that'll be next step, family.
Amazing.
So for everybody who loves you on Once Upon a Time, what projects are you working on next? Like, where can they see you outside of it?
Well, there's a show called Glitch that, a lot of people love. We may or may not be doing season 3. Can't really talk about it. I don't know what did I really hide that well? Anyway, I might be in South America soon shooting a film.
Oh.
Yeah, which will be really fun. And I've got Extinction, a film I did in Serbia. That'll be kind of sci-fi, action thriller. That'll be out soon, and I've got a whole bunch of other stuff in the pipeline, which I guess you'll just have to wait and see.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, I wish we had more time. There's
know,
so
it's
many
so
more
fun.
questions. This is so great. But
I
before
know.
we wrap it up, let's just do a quick character corner and talk about Mother Gothel and the backstory of your little character corner. Let's go for it.
Absolutely. So let's bring up Character Corner. And this week we will start with Mother Gothel as our character of the week. And the original Mother Gothel was actually a queen. Yes, no, the other photo. Yeah, that creepy one. So that is from the Grimm's fairy tale version. However, Mother Gothel was a queen, and it comes from the Italian fairy tale Petronicella, which is actually a Neapolitan fairy tale by Giambattista Basile. And it was published in 1634. And later on... 1634. So your character has been around for a minute.
I did
Mother Nature.
I
So-
probably should have known that. Yeah, right. Mother
So
Nature. Exactly.
first she was an evil queen, and it also involved a looking glass, very similar to Snow White's evil queen. And then the girl gets locked in a tower, and so on and so forth. And the Brothers Grimm took that and they adapted it into the westernized version that most people know nowadays, or the Tangled version, which was the animated Mother Gothel that I had on there, where she sings and there's the flower. And that was a lovely rendition as well, much more child-friendly, as the original Mother Gothel is terrifying.
Yeah.
Whether you read it in Petronicella or the Brothers Grimm Rapunzel,
Wow.
terrifying. And now we have your rendition of Mother Gothel on Once Upon a Time. And I wanted to know, what have you used to build Mother Gothel that we've come to love and fear?
What have I used? Look, as I said, when I kind of sink into her, it's like I have to get all the costume on everything, and then it's just like something comes over me. And a lot of actors will say that until they're like fully in their costumes and everything, and it's like it's a stillness about her. And I know what happened to her. I knew something pretty full on happened to her to make her like she is. I draw on my life, in periods of my life, where I went through some full-on stuff, and I kind of look at it like a filing cabinet, and I would take certain things, certain emotions, and just be present with that and throw that into it with a stillness and a lot of evil. That's all I kept thinking with the stillness. I also made sure that it was done, as I think you saw me before, like it was like with a lot of smiles. That's so much creepier. So the little smiles are just creepy.
Yeah.
They're just more evil. So I had to really go, what's going to come across more interesting? And that's what I always think when any character I'm doing. What's going to be more interesting for the audience and more interesting on screen? And so that's basically all I did. And just as I said, we didn't have much prep time with scripts to really delve in and kind of put layers, upon layers into it. It was like kind of, sometimes I get handed monologues on the day, which used to scare me, but now I've realised I can do things I didn't know that I could do before. So, it was like, sometimes not much prep time, and so I just keep that stillness about her and go on with my objective and find emotions from my life. And just throw it into it. So that's what I do. And then Mother Gothel came out.
Did you have a favorite fairy tale character growing up?
What was my Three Bears was Goldilocks. I made my mum read that to me every single night. She'd be like, "Hey, Goldilocks." I'd be like, "Goldilocks." She'd be like, "Yay." Like,
Again.
I know, and then she'd try and skip big chunks of and then I'm like, "You still skipping?" You're skipping. Yeah, I'm obsessed with fairy tales. Absolutely obsessed with them. In fact, we went out the other day and I bought a whole pile of fairy tales, and I just keep them. I just love fantasy. I love fairy tales. I love the Faraway Tree. Do you guys know the Faraway Tree?
No.
Oh, maybe Eden Blight. No, that was Australian. Okay, it's an Australian thing. You guys Yeah, there you go. Haha.
Faraway
I
Tree.
got one on you
I'm
guys.
gonna check it out now.
Something
The
new.
Yeah, my
Faraway Tree.
favorite books in the whole world. You know when you get really nostalgic when you're
Yeah.
you pick something up now and when you're a kid you start reading it now and you're like, oh, I remember like falling asleep to this. And anyway, that's why I use Harry Potter a lot to fall asleep to for comfort.
Yeah.
That or The Haunted.
The Haunted.
It's so
Interesting.
bad.
To fall asleep to.
That's what I was thinking. Is to fall
I
asleep
know
to
Dom's
something
like
creepy.
you. I love.
That is some
I'm-
Gothel.
I know. See, that's my
preferences
creepy
right
side. I'm really pretty nice, but I have a creepo side. I'm obsessed with ghosts.
Oh my god.
Yep, and I've watched every Paranormal Activity, like the Paranormal Survivors, every real true kind of. I've obliterated the whole of every show I can find on it.
You know,
I don't
there's
know. I just find it
real-
really interesting.
There's like real live ghost hunts you can go on here in LA.
There is.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Let's go.
Let's go. Really though, seriously?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna Google
swear.
it.
I had a girlfriend who was
excited.
obsessed, and it's like up in the Hollywood Hills, and there's a bunch of other mansions, and you can
You
go
can
on
actually
these,
go
like-
in there.
Yeah, Google it. Like you can go
my
Ghost
gosh.
Hunts Los Angeles.
No,
It's a real thing.
Dom, are you watching? I know you're watching me now, Dom. Are you hearing this? He's gonna hate it. He hates that stuff. But I am
You're
obsessed. I'm going there. I am going tonight.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I wish I could hang out with you,
that
but I
is-
would have to exit on that
Yeah,
plan.
yeah. I don't know. And see, that is my true creepy side. Is
Well, there you
Yeah.
have it.
there you go.
There you guys. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Emma. This
So
has
welcome.
been such a pleasure. Before we wrap up, where can they find you on Instagram?
Emma Loves Luna. I was like, hang on, what is my Instagram account, guys? Emma Loves Luna. So I'll be posting all this as well. So thank you. This is so fun. God, this was fun. I'm totally going ghost hunting now.
Sounds good. Steph Sabraw, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Steph Sabraw.
Lanisha.
Hey guys, you can find me at Lanisha, spelled Lanisha 914.
Carolina.
Hey guys, you can find me on Instagram at LenaBean113.
And hey guys, Ally Nasta here. Find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at AllieGirl. And of course, follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. And again, Emma Booth, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, guys. Hi, onces. Love you all.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.